What's happening? It's your boy SymbolicSportsaholic bringing you another great edition of NFL Weekly Predictions. Alright, this week I just want to say last week was sort of a bust for me. Even ESPN analysts and computer simulated pickers like AccuScore and stuff, they had as bad of a record as me last week. I only had like 4 wins last week. Pretty sad. Although Monday Night Football hasn't been played yet. But I'm just shooting the video today because I have time. But yeah, let's get on it. The Seahawks are looking great. They beat New England. Their secondary is really good. I mean, their defense all around. Seahawks have the best defense in the league right now. Actually, I still think the Bears have the best defense in the league because they get a lot more turnovers. But the Seahawks definitely do stop the other team. They're very good. And then the 49ers. They were held to 3 points against the Giants last week. I'm still taking them to win this game solely because I think their offense is better than the Seahawks, and the Seahawks don't have that 12th man. If they were playing in Seattle, I'd actually probably pick Seattle to win. I like the 49ers, though. I think they'll be able to pick it up. Last week was a fluke week through 3 picks. That's not like Alex Smith. So if they limit turnovers, they'll be fine. Now we have the Cardinals and the Vikings. The Cardinals have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. They're not really impressing me anymore. They were doing very good in the beginning. But, I don't know. They could be a fluke team. And the Vikings are not a fluke. I've been watching their last 3 games. I think the Vikings are legit. Their run game's pretty good. Christian Ponder's not doing bad. They have great receivers. Percy Harvin is just a biblical beast. And their defense is very good. Even though RG3 did pretty well against them last week, I still think the Vikings will win it at home. I mean, they beat the 49ers at home. Alright, now we have the Cowboys and the Panthers. This game could go either way. It depends on which team shows up. I mean, these two teams show up when they want to. So I don't know about this one. I think the Cowboys will win just because they have a better defense, definitely better run defense, and the Panthers aren't known for being very good at running the ball. So I think they'll be able to contain Cam Newton, especially with Claiborne and their secondary. So I think Tony Romo will be getting the looks, just a matter of fact if he actually uses them wisely. So I'm taking the Cowboys. Now we have the Saints and the Buccaneers. The Saints still have the #1 passing offense in the league, believe it or not. Drew Brees is still putting up the numbers, putting up the points, and they came off an impressive win against the Chargers, and they had a bye week, so maybe they worked on some things, their run game and their defense. But yeah, their defense looked pretty good actually against the Chargers. They still weren't great, but maybe this team will turn it around and keep winning. I want the Saints, and I will pick the Saints to beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers haven't really beaten anyone that has given me the idea that they'll be a legit team in this league. So I'm taking the Saints. Now we have the Packers and the Rams. The Packers, wow, they looked like one of the best teams in the NFC. They finally looked how they did last year. They looked like a one-loss team again. 6 touchdowns and 0 picks against the top defense as of last week, the Houston Texans. Just phenomenal. The Rams came off a loss from the Dolphins. And the Rams, though, they're undefeated at home, you got to remember. But the Rams have one of the worst offenses in the league. Sam Bradford is just horrendous. I like the Packers in this one again. They're hot right now, so I'll take the Packers on the road. I actually think the Packers played better on the road, which is kind of weird this year. Last year they played better at home. Alright, now we have the Redskins and the Giants. The Redskins are looking good. Alfred Morris, man. He's like top 5 rushers so far this year. I'm glad I have him on fantasy. RG3 also, he can run and pass the ball. But that defense, they did well against the Vikings last week, but I think it'll be a different story against the Giants. The Giants held the 49ers to 3 points. Which has just proven that they do have a legit defense with Justin Pierre-Paul, and and Justin Tuck, JPP, all sorts of play. Osamura, I don't know, whatever the hell. All right, Ravens and Texans. Sorry, got thrown off there. Yeah, the Ravens. Ray Lewis is injured, which is going to throw off that defense. Their defense hasn't been playing well all year, which is kind of surprising. Ray Rice is doing his part. But yeah, the Texans, they got embarrassed by the Packers. I think they'll win at home, give these fans something to cheer about. I like the Texans because Arian Foster, of course, and Matt Schaub just didn't look like himself last week. I think they turned it around at home. I mean, they were at home last week too. But I think the injury is just going to throw the defense of the Ravens off too much. Now we have the Titans and the Bills. I like the Titans here. Matt Hasselbeck looked great against Steelers last week. I know the Steelers or the Titans aren't really elite anymore, but I did like the way the Titans played. Chris Johnson actually looked relevant for once. Matt Hasselbeck threw pretty well. They were pretty fluent, and they got a lot of turnovers. And the Bills have slowed down since the beginning of the year. I know they beat the Cardinals last week, but this game is going to be a weird one. The Bills are so hard to predict because you never know what's going on with them. But I like the Titans. All right. The Browns and the Colts. I went against my gut feeling last week and picked the Bengals over the Browns when I was saying the whole time I think the Browns will win. But yeah, the Browns did win, and they are looking all right. Trent Richardson, their rookie quarterback Brandon Whedon's doing okay, I guess. And but their defense is turning over the ball. They're playing smart football right now, and the Colts just, how do you give up 30-plus points to the Jets? I know the Jets are actually not a bad team, but they are not a good offensive team. And the Colts, they just were struggling last week. Andrew Luck was okay, but I like the Browns. All right, now we have the Jets and the Patriots. The Jets, they're playing good football right now. Surprisingly, Mark Sanchez is looking about almost average again. But I still like the Patriots. The Patriots did lose to the Seattle Seahawks, but now they're in Foxborough. I just think that New England, they're a 3-3 team right now. They have much better coaching and talent than that. I don't see them going below 500 at all. I think they're going to start picking it up and win a ton in a row, like to end the season, to make a playoff run. I like the Patriots. It's going to be closer than you think, though. The Jets might cover. I don't know what the spread is, but anyways. We have the Jags and the Raiders. Blaine Gabbert actually isn't as bad as everyone thinks. He doesn't turn the ball over much, but he still doesn't have breakout games or any of that. I like the Raiders. The Raiders played the Falcons well last week, and the Raiders' defense had 3 picks. Carson Palmer looked okay, I guess. Darren McFadden is still one of my favorite running backs in the league. I like the Raiders at home. The crowd is just going to go nuts. They need a win. They need to impress their fans after that last-minute game-losing field goal. So we'll see what happens. Now we have the Steelers and the Bengals. My Pittsburgh Steelers going into Cincy. The Cincinnati Bengals are so overrated, but then again, the Steelers have been too this year. This game is pretty much a coin toss, but I like the Steelers winning. If Rashard Mendenhall even plays decent, I think they'll win. But, I mean, the Bengals, they look pretty good on their passing game. A.J. Green is phenomenal. And honestly, I just don't think the Bengals defense can handle the Steelers. But, I mean, I don't know. This game's a coin toss. I like the Steelers, though. Come out on top in a close one. Now we have the Lions and the Bears on Monday Night Football. I like this matchup. The Lions are finally looking better again, kind of like the Packers. But the Bears have the best defense in the league. They have the best turnover margin in the league, which means even though Jay Cutler turns over the ball a ton, they still turn the ball over more on defense than anybody else. I think they get like 1 touchdown a game off of their defense, which is just great. I think the Bears will win, especially if Matt Forte's back. But yeah, they're at home on a Monday night stage. I don't think the Lions can keep up. Matt Stafford hasn't been playing well until last week. So, all right,